Welcome to Life and DNA with Amanda Renee. I'm so glad you joined me today. Let's get started. I did not post or record an episode last week. My husband had a death in the family, and so I just did not get that done. So sorry about that if anyone was looking for it. I just brought some notes to discuss things going on right now. Like the last one I talked about was my MRI. Just to keep you up to date on my Hashimoto's journey. Yay with that. I know, a lot of people don't understand Hashimoto's. Unfortunately, most doctors don't understand Hashimoto's, which is why years later I'm still struggling with it and having to deal with it. And I'll talk a little more about that in a minute. But I had the MRI on my brain. My doctor told me, I finally got to talk to my doctor about it. She finally got to look at the results and talk to her this week. She was actually worried about tumors since I was having the trouble with my vision those few days, and between the headaches and the dizziness. So there were no tumors, thank God. So glad for that. Still don't know why I have the headaches. They've been less. The past 2 weeks, they've been less than they were. I was having one every day. I think I had just a handful of days in March where I didn't have a headache. Same for February. The end of March seemed to be better, so I don't know if it is could have been allergy related. I take enough allergy medicine that I wouldn't think that it would be that. My personal guess is it's either hormonal or getting off of that medication. Even though my doctor tells me that it wouldn't be that, it's just kind of odd to me that that's when I started having them worse. I do have headaches a lot, unfortunately. But usually I can get something to take it away. I usually have a few days here and there as a break, sometimes up to a week for a break, and then they'll start again. But, which is another reason why I think it might be hormonal. But she swore up and down it wouldn't be the medicine, getting off of the hormone medication. I just kind of maybe disagree with that. Seeing as how I had to live through it. If any of you have Hashimoto's or have been through any of that, you might comment and message me. Tell me, if you ever found out what caused headaches for you, because I would really love to figure out what it is and not have them anymore. Because sometimes they get really, really bad. My new doctor thinks that it might possibly be migraines. I don't know what the difference is between a migraine and regular headache. I just know that they really hurt, and nothing I take can make some of them go away. My new doctor suggested that I go see my eye doctor to rule out anything to do with my eyes. Seeing as how my vision, that one, right before I had to get my MRI, she was already wanting to get a CT scan. And then I woke up and my husband had texted me and I was trying to read the text and I couldn't read it because my right eye, the vision was just so blurry. And it stayed like that for a while. It really freaked me out. My eyes kind of get a little blurry, like I can usually blink a couple times and make them snap out of it. So that's what I thought it was at first, and it did not go away for a while, and so it kind of freaked me out. And then she got me in for the MRI. So thankfully it isn't tumors, but I still need to get it checked out. But I go to the eye doctor on a regular basis, and I think I had my eyes dilated just 2 years ago, so I don't think it's anything like that. I really think it's the thyroid stuff, or again, hormones. Really trying to get that all worked out. And my new doctor also, she hasn't let me know yet, but she's trying to figure out whether I need to go see an endocrinologist or a rheumatologist. And I keep meaning to Google the difference in those. I know people with thyroid conditions and Hashimoto's typically see endocrinologists. So I'm kind of hoping, and that one's closer. So I'm really hoping that that's the one I get to go to. But until then, I don't know. I'm waiting on, my gynecologist had tested my hormones. It turned out it was not a great day to have gotten my hormones tested, because it's when all of your hormones are low typically. Anyway, she is supposed to be ordering me, or have ordered, a kit that I come home. I think it's a dried urine test. It's one of the ones I wanted to get done anyway. I'm just waiting for her to call and tell me it's in, and it'll track my hormones for the whole month, and then I kind of get to see where they're missing it or not. So I'm looking forward to getting to take that test. It's been 2 weeks today since she ordered it. I put a call in Monday to check on it. She still hasn't answered me, so I guess I'm gonna have to call her back. Yeah, I get that doctors are busy. But it's so frustrating when they forget about you because, I've waited 2 weeks to find out the truth about my testosterone levels. Her lab tested and they were like ridiculously high. The results from the other lab showed, I think they were pretty normal, way lower than what they showed. She was supposed to check on that and get back to me, and still hasn't. That was one of the things I put the call in about. It's been 2 weeks since she ordered that kit, and that still hasn't happened. And, I'm still waiting to hear from my new doctor, too. Now, don't get me wrong, I love my new doctor. I'm glad that she's very willing to work with me and help me get stuff going and get to the root cause of everything. And I get that they have many other patients. It's just really frustrating being here, dealing with my symptoms day in, day out, and not getting any help with it. So, yeah, that's just frustrating. Also, trying to get all of my medications switched over. I think I finally got my last daily medication that my previous doctor was handling moved over to my new doctor, because that's been kind of a pain. So I've decided, I believe I talked about, I was doing the hormone masterclass, and I've already taken the thyroid masterclass, and I think in a few days she has a weight loss masterclass coming up with Dr. Heather Stone, and I'll listen to that, and I will take notes on that because I do want to implement what I can. My position, I was all gung-ho to do a bunch of testing, and having done some of the testing now, I've realized if I don't know what to do once I get it, and it's taking forever just to get anybody to get me the testing so that I can get started on it, and it's just really frustrating. So instead of just sitting here doing nothing, I am finally going to try to implement what I know to do, which is, like I talked about, eating the Trim Healthy Mama plan. Now, I will listen to what Dr. Heatherstone says in her master class, but she always has you cut out multiple things. She has you cut out gluten. I am just not mentally, physically quite 100% there yet where I can even wrap my head around trying to do that. So that one I will cut way back. Just going Trim Healthy Mama, you can almost go gluten-free for the most part. Just being on plan. So that will help with that, but I can't go 100% gluten-free just yet. I'm just not there yet. It's just too, groceries are too high. It's too hard. I don't have that many days to spend the whole afternoon in the kitchen trying to hand make whatever I would need to make to go gluten-free completely. So for now, just cutting way back is going to have to be good enough. She also has you cut out soy, which, unless it's in hidden in things, I don't typically get anyway. That's supposed to be really bad for thyroid conditions. Corn, pretty much all grains. But she always says to cut out oatmeal, and I don't. If you listen to the Trim Healthy Mama ladies, they list a lot of benefits with oatmeal. So I'm not going to do that. I take that back. I was going to say I don't eat a ton of corn, but I eat corn chips and my nachos for lunch. And I found a replacement for that already, so I'll talk about that in a second. But corn should be fairly easy for the most part to cut out. On Trim Healthy Mama, I think the blue corn chips, you can have a few of those. So if I'm really craving like chips and salsa, I can use that as a kind of personal choice item. What was the other thing? Sugar for sure. And I think she said fructose. I don't eat a ton of fruit except for berries, and I'm trying to do better about that even, and eat more of those. So it's the gluten is the main one that's hard for me. Oh, and she suggests dairy, and I can see why she says that. And I don't eat a ton of dairy. I use cashew milk instead of milk because I have a little trouble with lactose. But I use butter to cook with, butter and coconut oil, because those are the two healthiest. And then Greek yogurt. There's protein in it. There's a lot of benefits to it. It actually helps me sleep better at night if I eat that for a snack. So I'm going to keep that in and at least see how I do. The video I was watching from the Trim Healthy Mama ladies say most people have success right away with most the times they change how they're eating simply by cutting junk out and upping their healthy foods anyway. So I'm hoping and praying that my body will release at least some weight at first when I start doing that. I have managed the past 3 days to make oatmeal, like not instant oatmeal in the packets either, actually on the stove cooking my oatmeal. So I'm kind of proud of myself on that, and it's helped me stay full longer than the sugary breakfast I used to have. I already put stevia in my coffee. I got used to that years ago when I very first was on Trim Healthy Mama, and I've kind of kept that habit up thankfully. So the first day I made Pearl's nested oatmeal, and I will probably try that one again soon. It was really good. She suggested using their optimized plant protein, but I don't have that yet. I still have some leftover whey protein, so I use that because they're really big on, making sure you get so many grams of protein in each meal, and if not, add some of their amino acids, which I have, and I'm trying to get me and my husband on. I just have to figure out the best way to get them dissolved, and I'm going to try that in warm water this time, and see if I can get some of that in us, because it's supposed to really help burn fat and build muscle and keep you healthy in several ways. I can't remember all of them. I'll have to do like a podcast on just the amino acids that they have. So she makes a little nest of, I think it was, she uses the plant protein, but I use whey protein. Some sweetener, cashew milk, and something else. I can't remember what it was. It could just be water. And I kind of used my little handheld mixer thing and mixed that up. And then you put your oatmeal on top and top that with stevia and cinnamon. She puts berries in. I tried it that way. I'm not big on berries with cinnamon, so I would probably just eat the berries on the side. And but it was really, really good, and it kept me full for a long time. And then the past 2 days I've been making Pearl's, she calls it her sweatpants oatmeal, because it's so easy that, you could be wearing, like, sweatpants are easy to put on. This oatmeal's easy to make. And so she mixes almond or cashew milk with the water that you're going to cook the oats in. And she does that, again, with the stevia and cinnamon to top it. But she dissolves a teaspoon of coconut oil into a couple of tablespoons of hot water and pours it on top. And I just kind of mix it in. And it just makes it a little richer and gives you some good, healthy fats. But if you have just the 1 teaspoon of fat, then you stay within an e-meal or an energizing meal on Trim Healthy Mama. And that's the quickest and easiest thing. I think if I had all my ingredients out and did the nested way, it wouldn't take but maybe a minute longer than the other one to make, which isn't bad. So I've been doing it on that. Today, before I started reading while my son was in jiu-jitsu class, I was trying to Google like a good high protein lunch option, and I ran across a couple of different things, and I put them together. One was a wrap, using like a low carb wrap, but you make the green goddess dressing, and they use shredded chicken. I was trying to save money, so I'll just use whatever lunch meat my husband and my kids have in the fridge. And there was a caprese sandwich, and so I just, instead of the wrap, I bought the ciabatta bread, and they're small, and it's not going to be a ton of carbs. So at least for now, to kind of wean me off of the dang nachos, I'm going to use the bread for this time. But I'm going to I'll make the goddess dressing tomorrow and try that. I am really hoping I enjoy it, because I need to find something healthy for that. And then for snacks, I'm going to do make up deviled eggs and keep them made up for protein. Then the Greek yogurt with berries. And hopefully I can make wise decisions there and not get too snacky with the bad snacks that we have in the house until they're gone, and then I just won't buy any more of those. So yeah, I want to pay attention to how much protein I'm getting. Try and use the essential aminos to supplement when I'm lacking a little bit. And I do want to start with weight training. They say to start out first with just like, using your body as resistance training. I have to be very, very careful with that though, because of the Hashimoto's. I am not very tolerant with exercise very well. And I hate that because in my mind, I want to get up and get started on doing something, and I want to go and do something, but every time I do too much, I get reminded real fast of why I can't do it, because it knocks me down for days, sometimes weeks at a time, and it's just not worth it. So slow and steady hopefully wins this race, because I need to do something. The Trim Healthy Mama ladies keep re-emphasizing how important it is to have muscle, especially once you're over 40, to build that. And because they were saying, like, people that fight cancer, the more muscle they have, the more their body can recuperate from things and fight it off. There's just a lot of benefits to that. I'll try to take better notes when I'm listening next time so that I can tell you exactly what they're saying about that. But, if the older you get, the more muscle you have. If you have a break, you're more likely to recover from it. Whereas a lot of people just pass away because they didn't have enough muscle to ever, get back up and walk around and go on with life anymore. So I do want to do that. Now, until I lose some weight in my knees, I can't do a lot of squats, which is mostly what you do to build your lower muscles. So I'm hoping to get to use the Pilates bands and stuff like that to help build some of that. Yeah, one of the other things I want to talk about was the getting off of that hormone pill. It was, I had to get on it to stop bleeding so heavy because of, I was so anemic, that I almost had to have a blood transfusion. It was really, really bad. And so I had to, they first tried to put me on progesterone, the bioidentical progesterone, and that helped with some symptoms, but it did not help with that. So they had to put me on a synthetic form of Agestin. My doctor has an accent, so I really don't know how it's pronounced. I only know how she says it. And so it was kind of like a birth control pill, even though I didn't need that. But it made my period stop altogether. Well, now that I'm off of that, I don't know if it's just that my hormones are still trying to find their way and balance back. But it's been crazy. I'm hoping you can't tell if you're watching on YouTube and not just listening. But I have like blemishes all over my face now, where for years when I was on the pill, I didn't have to worry or think about that at all. And now I do. And I have, the PMS mood swings, and I didn't really have that when I was on that pill and not having periods. And yeah, it's just kind of out of whack. So I'm really looking forward to getting to take that one test so they can figure out where my hormones are and help me because it's really bad. The other thing I was going to talk about, just having Hashimoto's in general, how hard that is. And I know I don't ever want to seem, I don't know, not like a big baby, but I don't want to seem ungrateful. I am grateful for the health that I do have. I understand people have things a lot worse than I do and a lot harder than I do. But one of the things that's hard with Hashimoto's is that you don't look sick. You don't look like there's anything wrong with you, except for, that you put on a bunch of weight that you wouldn't have put on without it. But then people just either, one, assume you're lazy and not trying, or that, oh, well, you're at that age, so it's your hormones causing you to gain weight. And that's not what it was at all. So I think that's part of it, because everywhere I go, and I know people get tired of hearing me say how tired I am. I don't like that I say that all the time. It's just so true. I have such little energy all the time, which is probably the hardest thing to deal with, aside from, the weight and having to take so many medications just to not have horrible allergies all year round. The being tired and not having energy is the worst, especially considering all the things that I have to do in a week, and trying to move my schedule around all the time so that I do have a little bit of time to rest on certain days, because if I don't have a down day or a couple of down days throughout the week, then it's even harder on me, because for someone that has Hashimoto's, they never just wake up with the energy to do what they need to do in a day. They are always pushing themselves more than what their body wants them to be pushed. Just to go and go and go and do all the things that I have to do. I'm tapping into reserves that I don't really need to tap into, if that makes sense. It would be a deficit if you were talking about money. I would be in the negative on energy every day that I have to go and do a lot. And then when the days I am home, I try to make that where it's 3 days a week now. I try to pile everything into one day, on Monday, which is really hard for me because Sundays were really hard on me. So that's 2 days in a row. And that's rough, but I try to get it as much over with on Monday as I can so that I'm home all day Tuesday, all day Wednesday. I have church Wednesday night, and then Thursday I have some stuff in the afternoon for my son, and then I'm home Friday, and then unless we're going somewhere, I usually get to be home on Saturday. So I try to bank up some days like that where I can be home and take care of stuff here, but also be able to rest if I absolutely have to. But what typically happens is I will feel guilty and push myself and do more on the days I'm home instead of resting. And so then I'm even further in a deficit. But the hard thing is nobody can, except for me saying that I don't have any energy and I'm tired, nobody sees that. It's not like I have chicken pox and there's marks all over my face and you can tell that I'm ill. And even though a lot of times if I've worn myself out, I will feel feverish and sick, I don't have a fever. Not that anyone would really be able to tell because my core body temperature is lower because of the thyroid problems anyway. But so I go to work on Sundays and I'm tired and I'm saying something about being tired or I'm asking a question, and I can tell that they're looking at me like, oh, you're ridiculous for being that tired, when they don't understand how, like, extremely hard on me it is to be there that long and teach that class and push myself. Not that, I love that I have that class. Don't get me wrong. It's just, it's hard when people look at you like, oh, just get over it, or you're making that up, or you're being ridiculous, because, I don't know, you wish they could just be in your body and feel what you feel just for a few days, and then maybe they would understand a little better. But, I mean, I get it. I've seen people where they've said they've had something, and you're like, it doesn't look like anything's wrong with you. So I try to be a little more empathetic now, having this, because sometimes you are sick, but you don't necessarily look sick. And that's not fun. So, that's my journey this week. I'm hoping that my other doctor can get the test in so I can get started on getting my hormones tested, figure out what's going there. She did prescribe me progesterone to help me with night, like getting hot at night and not being able to sleep as well. But then she told me don't start taking it until after I do this testing. So, and I still haven't gotten the testing kit. So that's kind of hard. So I'm ready to get all that sorted. I'm ready to, if I need a certain hormone, put me on it, please. Something that'll help with all of this. And I've just decided I'm going to try to eat right, do the light little bit of weight training that I can do without pushing myself to make myself sick, and possibly take some supplements that are kind of like detoxing, because until I can take all of the testing that it takes to find out what the root cause is of my particular autoimmune condition that's going on with me, I want to be able to just kind of eliminate the ones that I can on my own before I find out what I have, and hopefully that'll save me some money on testing in the long run. If I can fix some underlying conditions, then that would be great. And I know, was it underlying infections? I want to do some research on trying to fix those and see if there's a way I can do it without having to go through a doctor. Removing toxins from your system, a lot of times those things can build up of heavy metals and BPAs and mold toxins and stuff like that. And I've researched some supplements to take on those, so I'm going to try and maybe put some of my testing money, instead of spending all that money on testing and then needing these supplements anyway. I'm going to try to get a couple of the supplements and try and see if maybe that helps me feel better, and see if that's the route I need to go. So, I'm going to work with my doctors, but I'm also going to try to kind of doctor myself to the point that I can, I think, because, I'm ready to get this done. I'm ready to have energy and be over this. And so, but I will keep you posted along the way, and I'll let you know how that sandwich tastes and how eating like that is going. We are going to Tulsa to a concert next week, so I'm going to have to try to find a way to not just completely blow how I'm eating while I'm up there. and save it for when we go out. So yeah, I will let you know how all of that goes, and I'll talk more about our plans probably and who we're gonna go see. I'll talk more about that next week. So for now, that is all. Thank you for listening to Life in DNA with Amanda Renee. I'll see you back here next Thursday. Bye.